Okay guys, in our class today we learned that to find the area of a triangle you need to multiply the base times the height and then cut that in half. So half times the base times, and this is a really important word here, times the perpendicular height of the triangle. So that's the height from the base, a straight line from the base to the top of the triangle. Okay, now we're just going to write that more simply as a formula, and there's a couple different ways you can write it. You can write it as area equals half times base times height, or I quite like writing it like this, base times height divided by 2. Okay, they both mean the same thing, so you can choose the one that you like the best. So let's look at a couple of examples of how you would apply this formula. So this first example here, the first thing you're going to have to do is identify which is the base and which is the height. So in this case here, it's pretty clear that the 15 millimeters is the base and 12 is the height. So plugging that into my area formula, I have 12 times 15 divided by 2. So 12 times 15 is 180, divided by 2 gives me an area of 90 millimeters squared. In this second example here, it's a little bit tricky to distinguish which is the base and which is the height. You might think, oh, okay, 6 is the base. I think that definitely looks like the base. But which one is the height? Is it 15 meters or is it 7 meters? And the clue here is this right angle. Remember, the base and the height have to be perpendicular to each other. So the height of that triangle is actually 7 meters, even though that's not actually the length of any of the sides. Okay? So remember, base and height must be perpendicular. So again, here I've got my base is 6 meters and my height is 7 meters. So my area is going to be 6 times 7 divided by 2. Okay, 6 times 7 is 42, divided by 2 gives me 21 meters squared. Okay, let's take a look at a trickier question here. We've got an isosceles triangle that has a height that is double its base. Okay, so we don't know what the height and the base are, but we know that the height is 2 times bigger than the base. The total area of the triangle is 16 centimeters square. Now we need to work out the base and the height of this triangle. So I'm going to just draw myself a little sketch here. I've got an isosceles triangle, and I know that the height is double its base. So what I'm going to say is, okay, well the base, let's just call the base x. So if the base is x, then the height here has to be 2x. And what I'm told is that the area is 16 centimeters squared. So I know that area is base times height divided by 2. So let's just plug all those numbers in here. We've got the area is 16 is equal to the base, which is x, times the height, which is 2x, divided by 2. Now x times 2x is 2x squared divided by 2. 2x squared divided by 2 is just x squared. So 16 is equal to x squared. So now I would say to myself, okay, if x squared has to be 16, how do I work out x? Well, that means I've got to take the square root of 16. So x is going to be the square root of 16, or 4, okay, because 4 times itself, 4 squared gives me 16. So that means that x is equal to 4 centimeters. Okay, I worked out x is 4 centimeters, and that was the base. So I know the base is 4 centimeters. That means the height must be double that, which is 8 centimeters, and that's my final answer. Now I can check that by saying, alright, if I multiply the base by the height and divide by 2, will that give me an area of 16? Well, 4 times 8 is 32. If I divide that by 2, I get 16. So that was the original area that I started with. Okay, so those are just some quick examples on some problems with area of a triangle. You can go on to the work in your student outline now.